Hello, my name is Omar Harami. Thank you for joining us for the latest Kumi Now online gathering as we address the environmental effects and cost of the ongoing Israeli occupation. Our guest today is Daoud Nassar from the Tent of Nations. Before we start, I'd like to remind you that this session is being broadcasted live on Facebook. If you do not wish to appear, please turn off your video feed. We would also love it if you could quickly share one of the links that are being shared in the chat so that others may join. We are now inviting people from the audience to tell us how you are applying Kumi now back in your community or are otherwise advocating for Palestine. If you have an idea or a project you'd like to share for up to 5 minutes in a future meeting, please email us at kumi@kuminow.com. Now it's time for our weekly activism survey. Mark, could you launch the poll, please? Please note that there are 3 questions. So scroll down for the third. You can read out the questions and possible answers. Give people a minute. We will give you a minute to respond. Okay, thank you, Franz. Thank you. The first question asked about your activism for the week. We appreciate your responses. The answer to number 2 is the third answer, pine trees. Although there are some pine trees that are domestic to Palestine, the pine trees that Israel has planted were from European origins. And the answer to number 3 is the final answer, solid waste disposal sites. We hope that you will find today's gathering interesting and informative. We will do it a little bit different. We're not going to ask the speakers to introduce themselves because Daoud is currently on the land, on the farm, who is the speaker for today. And he is joining the meeting through his mobile phone. So we've asked, so what we will do, I will be presenting an update on the ground. And then we will be hearing the lecture and Daoud will introduce himself. So 1 second until I share the PowerPoint that I have prepared. So Palestine and Israel are not as much as they used to be on the news in previous weeks, but plenty of things have been happening. The moment that most of the attention stopped being focused on Palestine, Israel, Jerusalem, and specifically at Sheikh Jarrah, Israel has started to make a number of measures. On the left side of the screen is both Muhammad and Muna al-Kurd. They are the grandchildren of Nabil, who passed away a number of years ago with an age of 103 years old. She spent most of her years struggling as a Palestinian refugee, struggling to keep her house and her family while still living under occupation. Muhammad and Muna, they are her youngest grandchildren. They are the main people who have been really bringing the world's attention to Sheikh Jarrah. Israel arrested them for 3 days and the purpose of the arrest was to threaten them to um, to make sure that they are being watched, and Israel is not appreciating their advocacy work. Although all of their work and commitment has been nonviolent, only just bringing the world's attention to what is happening. Um, they are the latest um, activists to be arrested within the community. Also, Israel has, for the first time, beaten and twisted the hand of Jafar al-Buderi. She is a leading Al Jazeera journalist. She was arrested for a few hours and only released after she has accepted to sign her approval not to be in Sheikh Jarrah for 15 days. This is a group of journalists. Many of them have been also arrested and threatened. Israel does not want the world attention to be focused on Sheikh Jarrah or the world to know of what is happening. She was, although it was all taken, the footage was taken on camera, she was not doing anything. She was beaten up and harassed. Israel is referring to more extreme measures in silencing now journalists in Jerusalem and the rest of the country. Um, this is the photo. This is a photo of Fadi Washaha. Fadi Washaha passed away few days ago. He was injured. This photo is from a different incident. Although he was only 34 years old. He spent 8 years of his life in prison. Last year he was shot by rubber bullets during his participation in a demonstration, in a protest trying to stop the confiscation of land. He died after he passed away. He was killed by an Israeli live bullet gun during a demonstration that he was part of 2 weeks. This picture became very much viral, and it spoke to many Palestinians. Most of our lives, we are either resisting the occupation, being punished by the occupation, spending years behind bars, or um, or mourning lost ones, loved ones. Sheikh Jarrah.
Omar, we're not seeing your PowerPoint.
So why should have stopped me earlier? I'm so sorry about this. That is weird. Now, Mark.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Sorry. You've heard what I was saying. Hopefully. So this is Muhammad and Muna al-Kurd, and this is their grandmother. This is the journalist Jafar al-Buderi. You've listened to the commentary with a number of journalist colleagues who showed solidarity with her after she was released. This is Jivara Buderi being having her hands twisted, harassed, and bullied by the Israeli army. This is Fadi Washaha, who passed away a few days ago after being injured 2 weeks ago by a live bullet, who was shot in the head during a demonstration protesting the war on Gaza. This picture is from a previous year. Most of the life of Palestinians seems to be into an endless struggle and suffering. Last 3 days ago, there was a large marathon or the Palestinian families from Sheikh Jarrah asked the Palestinian community to take part in a symbolic marathon to run between the two neighborhoods of Sheikh Jarrah to Silwan, having on their wearing T-shirts with printed on them 7,850, and these are the numbers of individuals, family members in Jerusalem alone who are facing eviction orders by Israel. Although it was non-violent, peaceful, The Israeli army started to throw stun grenades, tear gas, shooting and beating a number of people, of the participants in the marathon, injuring over 19 people who required medical attention. If you would think, because many people brought their children, if you think about the numbers of people who were traumatized, scared, and with the other effects, the numbers are in the dozens. The news is coming out that there is an Israeli government that might see the light. They have all agreed to be part. All the different extremes, you have the Muslim Brotherhood with the extreme right fanatics, with the left groups, they have all come together in a weird coalition. And the purpose of it is, although they don't agree on anything, they only agree on they don't want Netanyahu to be part of the political story or the political scene inside Israel. So it's weird how nobody knows how it's working or how it will work, or how they came to into an agreement with each other. The only reason is that they've had enough, everybody had enough with Netanyahu, and they want him out. However, Netanyahu is not happy. He is promising to get rid of the government, of the new government, and to make sure that it either doesn't see light or its time will end very soon. With many analysts are saying that there is a talk. There was the demonstration, the flag demonstration. This is a very disturbing demonstration that happens on an annual basis inside crossing between West Jerusalem to East Jerusalem. Far-right, ultra-nationalist Israeli settlers and members of youth groups, they march with many Israeli flags through Palestinian neighborhoods of the Old City, Damascus Gate, trying to intimidate and provoke the local community. This is one of them, and always there is high frictions between both communities, and between the indigenous Palestinian people and the groups carrying these flags. It seems that Israel is pushing for these demonstrations to happen. It might happen Thursday, on Thursday, in 2 days. Some voices in Israel are saying, let's change the path of the demonstration. Others are saying cancel it. Others are saying it is Jerusalem is the unified capital of Israel. We're allowed to celebrate. But some people, we hope that the demonstration does not take place, because it's going just to fuel tensions and fuel violence again. Some people believe that Netanyahu is the one who's pushing for it, or not playing an important role in stopping it. So Thursday might be another time that we fall into the trap of another cycle of violence or tensions in Jerusalem, and it could spread to the rest, to the different parts of the country. Mark, is Daoud with us? Yes. So many of you are familiar with Daoud. Daoud belongs to the Nassar family, which they have been at Nahalin village in the area of south of Bethlehem for many years. Their great grandfather bought a piece of land, and since then this was their home. Daoud has been an icon of nonviolent resistance, of a person who cares for the environment, and a Palestinian Christian who is trying to remain steadfast in his land. So Daoud?
Yes, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Omar, for the introduction and for the news. And thank you, everyone, also for allowing me to be with you today. I am actually on the farm at the Tent of Nations. I wanted to be in Bethlehem to have a better connection. I hope everybody can see me and can or listen to me. I might have to cancel the video just to keep it on audio in case. But I want to thank you all for all your support and solidarity, for all your prayers. It has been a very tough time for all of us, Palestinians in general, but also at the Tent of Nations in the last couple of weeks and months. Omar explained about the political situation and the context we are in. But regarding to the Tent of Nations, we run this project southwest of Bethlehem, and as you maybe already know, the land is located in the center of 5 Israeli Jewish settlements, and we are in a legal struggle since more than 30 years with the Israeli authorities to keep this farm from the danger of confiscation. We also suffered a lot of attacks from the Israeli settlers who came uprooting trees and trying to move us out of this place, but we did not give up. Now, after 30 years or after 100 years of presence on the farm, we are still here and we are continuing the path of my grandparents, my father and uncle, and we want to continue working the land and protecting it and making it a place where people can come and see and be connected with the ground. We do that in a non-violent way, but also in a way to protect the environment, to protect what is actually left for us and for the new generation. It is a responsibility for us to keep this planet and to teach the young generation the better connection with the ground, and also to help them understand that keeping or being environmentally friendly or taking care of the land is important for our future and the future of the generations to come. Now, on our path, we are facing, as I said before, many challenges. The first challenge we are facing is actually the threat of land confiscation. As I said before, in 1991, the legal battle started, and it is going on until today. After 12 years fighting or acting legally in front of the military court, we had to bring it to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court, after many sessions dealing with this, returned it back to the military authorities, requesting them to accept our appeal and also to recognize us as the property as a private property. I want to say here the land is located in what is so-called Area C after the Oslo Agreement. And as you all know, Area C is totally under Israeli control, and by the way, is making more than 65% of the West Bank, which means on the ground that we do not control anything as Palestinians. We don't control land, resources, and borders, which will make it difficult, if not impossible, to have an independent Palestinian state. Now, where we are in the legal battle we are in the stage of the re-registration process. The military authorities met on the 1st of February to talk about our process, or what if there is any documents that is missing, what is needed to be done, whatever. And they're supposed to inform our lawyer about the next steps. But since the 1st of February, we did not hear anything back from the authority. Our lawyer responded a couple of times, asking them for information. Didn't get. He is now preparing to go back to the Supreme Court, trying to push from that side. But on the ground, like today, I'm supposed to be in Bethlehem for a better internet connection. But out of a sudden, the civil administration, or which is actually the military, came. Two of them, they came with their own car, and one of our workers was working at the entrance there, and they forced him to open the door, to open the gate. He had no keys, and then he said, "If you don't open the gate, we will break it and enter." So anyway, like, my brother came and he opened the gate. They did not talk to us. They were driving in the property, and they drove on land that was newly cultivated and prepared for new plantation. But they went down where the fire was. Maybe some of you heard about the fire on the 20th of May. We had a big fire. I was on the farm in the morning, but went to Bethlehem to buy some stuff. Then on the way back, our neighbor called me and he said, "Well, your mountain is on fire." I immediately contacted or called the fire department in Bethlehem. It took them more than 45 minutes to come, but we were glad that some young people, about 20 people, came from the village, and we started trying to fight this fire with our limited resources. You know that we are not having here running water on the farm. So we had to pull water from the systems that we collect from the rain, and tried to do whatever we could. Thank God, a miracle happened, that the fire did not come close to the houses because of the change of the wind. But at the end, it destroyed more than 1,000 and more, well, probably more than 1,500 trees. I contacted the police, and the fire department made their report, and then they said that most probably this fire was done intentionally, but who did it or who was behind it remains unknown until now. But it was strange for me, like, to see the civil administration today came into the area where the area that was affected by the fire. So we tried, back to that story, we tried to talk to them. They did not, they were not willing to talk. They had papers in their hands. Actually, they usually come and put cultivation stop orders or demolition orders in areas that are also difficult to find. Now, after our meeting, I need to go back to the same area and check every corner to see if they put a paper there, because the moment they put a paper, they sometimes they are writing that if anybody wants to appeal, he should do it sometimes within 3 days, but normally within 45 days. And if we won't appeal, or if we, for any reason, we did not know about it, or we couldn't find the paper, they might come and destroy. Anyway, the guys, those from the civil administration, they left the property, and they said, we might come again tomorrow morning. So I don't know what is really happening right now, but this is the first time after many months they did not come. So it is really strange, and it's strange for us, like, and especially after we had this fire on the 20th of May. Now, this is the first challenge, and the other challenge, we still are challenged by some people from the village who are claiming that part of the land belongs to them. Anyway, the legal process is not moving forward, but still, we had some attacks from there. I don't know, again, how come somebody is claiming land after 100 years of ownership. You know, this is the first time we have something like that. Yeah, but for us, it is a challenging time, as for many other people. It is sometimes difficult to keep hope alive with all what is happening around us. It was very painful after this fire to see the dead trees. We tried hardly to rescue some of them by watering them on daily basis, but it did not work. You know, like it is sad to see like the olive trees are dying, are like drying slowly. But so every day I pass by those trees, it's really sad, because it takes years for a tree to grow and bear fruits. But what gives us hope is actually even those olive trees are dead, but they are dying while they are standing, which means for us is that you know, standing firm to your rights and with steadfastness, with being a witness, is actually what we are asked to do right now. So we are continuing, we are moving forward, and we are you know, will stand up and rise again from those ashes and try to rebuild the terraces and try to prepare the land for new plantation. We hope that many people could come and be part of our tree planting campaign, that we would like to plant the double of trees we lost. So the legal issues is going on. The presence on the ground is very important, but we are in need of international presence on the farm right now. I'm glad that today also the Dutch ambassador to the Palestinian Authority came with one of his assistants to see the Tent of Nations. Anyway, he knows about it and he was here before, so I updated him. On Friday, the people from the German representative office, from the German consulate, will come also. This presence and the international awareness is very important to help us keep this hope alive and keep you know, like our to support us politically and morally to continue with our struggle for justice. I want to thank all of you for all your support and solidarity. We always, you know, it is really very nice to see this commitment from all those people, you know, receiving emails and WhatsApp messages and letters. This is the kind of support we are in need of. You are helping us by standing with us in this struggle, and we will continue the journey together, the journey for justice, and always with hope, with faith and love.
Thank you, Daoud. Daoud, do you have time possible to ask you some questions that have been arriving in the chat?
Please, yes, please.
So the first question is, were the civil administration people Jewish Israelis or Palestinian Authority people? There is some
confusion. Those are like from the Israeli military authorities. They are people who are you know, because the Israeli military it's Area C, and they are controlling the whole area. It's under their control, and they are always coming to check of new structures or new plantation. They are taking aerial photographs, and the moment they see some changes, they put demolition orders. And they are using this system in order to you know, to stop the Palestinians from working their land.
Thank you, Daoud. Are you able to have any groups that come and in at the Tent of Nations and help?
Well, yes, we try to have some locals now. We have some volunteers, international volunteers who are in Jerusalem. Like today, we had one volunteer, and next month we will have another volunteer for 1 month staying here. There are some people who are interested to come, and when the restrictions are left on traveling, I hope and I'm expecting more people to be here and to help us rebuild the damages and plant the trees.
Could you please say more about the planting campaign, Daoud?
Well, because of what had happened with the fire, usually every year we try to plant some trees, but this is with the fire we lost many trees, and that's why many people are responded, and they said, how can we help? You can help with sponsoring a tree, with coming. You can come and plant a tree. So we are hoping to plant hundreds of fruit trees and olive trees this coming fall, maybe October and November. And it would be wonderful if some people can come and join us on this tree planting campaign.
Daoud, because it's a major loss, over 1,000 to 2,000 trees that have been burned. What is the cost of a tree that needs to be planted?
Well, we are always trying to buy small trees, like 2 years old. One is they are cheaper, and secondly, because the bigger ones, they might take a lot of water the first 2 summers, because we have to water them by hand, and we collect rainwater inside the system. So for each tree, it's about like $10 to $15 for each tree. The cost for those trees.
We saw that you have already sent out a campaign. I mean, it is information for people to donate. Is it possible to have the link, to provide us with the link, so that many people who are attending this session?
Yes, I will send it. I will send it to you, Omar, and then you can maybe send it to the people. Thank you so much for that.
Mark, is it if it's on the website, Mark can include it now in the chat. Is it on your website?
Yes, how to donate a tree. Yes, I think so. But some people, they said it's not functioning. Let us check.
Yes, we've had this problem in previous. I don't know if it was fixed or.
Yeah, we tried to fix it, but maybe I can check it again. And if there is a problem, I will let you know, or please let me know, so I can send you the information again.
And I'm asking now a question as Sabil, if we're able to bring a number of young people from different parts to help with the planting, to help you out, is it good to do it now, or should we wait until the fall when?
Well, you are welcome to come anytime. Of course, now it's not the planting season, but if people are, they have the time to come and help, we are rebuilding the land, rehabilitating the land, because it's a big damage. But the planting season will be in the winter time. So anyway, we will start before, maybe in October, November, even before the first rain, so that we could maybe for 1 month water the new planted trees, and then they will survive the winter and then the summer. So yeah, the planting season will be in the fall. So if you are able to come now, that's very good. But if you are, and also you could come late October, so that we can plant those trees together. And maybe some internationals would like to join and be part of that would be for us also like a motivation. It is a strong feeling that we are not alone in this struggle.
Thank you. Yes, we'd be happy and honored to come now and also in the fall and as much as is needed.
Thank you.
Have you managed to get your COVID-19 vaccination?
Sorry? Yeah.
Did you manage to get the COVID-19 vaccination?
Yes, we had, yeah, recently, and I think the second shot will be like end of this month.
Inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah. But not everyone, of course. Like we still have a problem. Like for example, my elderly people still are not having it. So, but the process is moving forward. By the way, for in the Palestinian areas.
And I mean, Israel yesterday registered the first time for over a year 0 cases. There were only 4 cases that were found, so only at the airport from people coming from abroad. We have a question. How many years does it take for an olive sapling to bear fruit?
Well, it takes probably between 7 and 10 years. And the painful thing is that, you know, we lost mature trees. We lost some trees that are 15 to 20 years old. And as I said before, we reported this fire attack to the local police, to the Palestinian police, and the Palestinian police sent a letter to the Ministry of Agriculture. So they sent 2 engineers to calculate the losses. So when it's done, I will inform you about the big loss of trees from this fire. Yeah.
Where in Palestine do you buy the trees? That's another question.
In Hebron, we do that in Jericho and in Bethlehem area. But many, especially olive trees, are coming from the northern side, from Nablus area.
There is, I think that's the questions that I have that I see in the chat. I want to ask you, Daoud. We understand that you are located in Area C, that the security is controlled by Israel and not the Palestinian police. So the Palestinian police has a number of challenges. One part, they don't have jurisdiction over your area. Another part of it is that also the Palestinian police definitely can be doing more and being more responsible also in helping you defend the land and to apply the law. What can the international community do to help you as the Tent of Nations and as Daoud?
Thank you. Well, you know, like I think it's of course, like as you said, you know, we are in an area that we are not protected. And we are, the Palestinian police also is facing challenges in coming into Area C, and also the the court situation is also like is going too slow. The system is going too slow. The international community could support in creating more awareness about our situation in terms of like informing their own representative offices about what is happening here and asking them also to come and see this place. So with the international pressure, I believe, you know, until now, the international pressure made and is making a difference here. So we need your political and moral support.
Daoud, a number of people have already started trying to donate through the website. It's not working. Still
It's not working. Oh, I will look into that, and maybe if possible, like they can. I mean, if possible with you, they can do it through Sabil. If it's okay with you, I don't know.
Yes, we're happy to help. But let's, because we need to fix also the website. I don't know,
Okay,
Mark, who's a mutual friend, maybe he can help us with, he's good with technical stuff. We could also find somebody because it needs to be fixed.
okay, okay. We'll do
So
that.
we
Yeah,
have
thank you.
some so we will figure out something with Dawood, and then we will send in an email blast to everybody. And please encourage the churches, communities that it's good for the environment, it's good for the steadfastness, it's good for, honestly, the Nassar family have been going through a lot the last year. They are the only Christian family in Nahalin, and they're facing, like many people, a mountain of problems. And if the churches would like to do something, we'd appreciate it. We're already lobbying and bringing young people from all around the country to help the Nassar family. Some people have asked, would you also come older folks? Can they to come and help with the planting?
Of course, everyone is welcome. You know, there is no limits on age, and no limits on gender. So everybody is welcome to come and be part of what we are doing. Because for us, you know, when we plant a tree, we believe in the future. We make the land productive. We care about the environment. And we also learn that to be patient, and peace will grow slowly, slowly, like an olive tree.
Thank you very much, Dawood. If here's another question that has just came in. You are also you started also a wine producing wines. How is this going with the?
Yeah, we planted new trees like in the last years. Yeah, the last year we did more like grape syrup out of the grapes. But yeah, we will continue with this project. You know, the idea of this project is because it's very hard to find a market for a local market for our grapes. So that's why we try to do you know, like grape syrup, grape juice, or wine. You know, just like to keep it longer, and hopefully if when internationals could come here, so they can also support the farm in buying its own products.
There's more questions coming in, but unfortunately, because of the time limitation, we're not going to be able to answer them all. But thank you all for the questions, and thank you for your great responses, Dawood.
Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to be with all of you, and thank you so much for all your commitment for justice and peace in Palestine, but also for the support of the 10 of Nations. We appreciate that very much.
Thank you, Dawood. And you know that we love you, we care for you, and you're a role model for many of us. You're on the ground working and advocating for your rights. So I know you're facing many challenges, but know that we all look up to you, and that's also a responsibility. We will do
Thank you.
to improve your support and to work with you. So God bless you and bless the family and Daher, and please send them all of our regards.
I will do so. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Now we will
goodbye, everyone.
Bye, Dawood. So Dawood is leaving us now. Take care.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.
We will move now to the advocacy time. Lots of challenges and lots of energy to challenge and to overcome our challenges. Ryan, could you please put the options on the screen? Thank you, Ryan. Um, these options will also be shared in the chat, and all of the text is available on the web page for this gathering, also shared in the chat or accessible from our kuminow.com homepage under the Kumi Online Gatherings section near the bottom of the page. So today's Kumi action, which you can see on the left, is to find a way to help Palestinian Museum of Natural History. And since we are working with our good friends at Tent of Nations this week, we also would like you to try to publicize the work and message of Tent of Nations, as you can see on the right. And of course, if you want to help with planting a campaign or promoting the campaign, you can do so by contacting Daoud. We will share his email in the chat, but we will also be sharing more information in a general email blast that will go to all of our Kumi community. So today we'd like to spend some time helping these organizations that are helping preserve the environment of Palestine. All the info you need is also being shared in the chat. Thank you, Ryan. We'll give everyone 5 minutes to get started. During that time, you can use the chat to discuss if you like, but otherwise, we'll listen to some music and come back in 7 minutes to finish up. Thank you everyone for joining us today. A link to the video of this gathering, along with all the links shared today, will be available on the Kumi Now website and on YouTube in a day or so. And it will be shared in the next newsletter. You can subscribe to Kumi Now on YouTube and subscribe to our newsletter to make sure you receive them. We would greatly appreciate if you shared this amazing session with your friends and colleagues, as well as information on the future sessions. Next week, we will look at tourism and pilgrimage in Palestine and the Holy Land. If you'd like to be reminded of the online gatherings an hour before they begin, you can register for email reminders at kuminow.com online using the form at the bottom of the page. It was always mentioned also in the newsletter of Kumi. We hope to see you back next week. Thank you again, and good morning, good evening, good night, depending on your time zone. Thank you all, friends.